What's up, guys, and welcome back to Poolside Chat. My name is Todd, and I've got another amateur pool master review with you. Tonight, doing a little USAPL 8 ball, playing Owen, which you'll notice I learned how to use the YouTube thumbnail as a little intro screen, a little splash screen, if you will. I'm still working on an actual intro, still got some things I got to work out there. I'm actually still trying to figure out the graphics, how I want it to look, so one step at a time, baby steps. YouTube takes a lot. Got to learn a lot, so give me a minute. I'll get this well-oiled machine looking great here in a bit. So you'll notice I did actually include the Fargos on this one with a little bit of a race counter. Unfortunately, I recorded this match probably 5 or 6 weeks ago. I was very early in my recordings, so I wasn't keeping track or a record of my own of our Fargos or what the actual race was. So I know where we were ballpark, so we're going to estimate it. And we're going to go with roughly a 61-43 race, and we'll go with it. You also notice that the field of view isn't great. Well, again, I was new, and on top of that, we were playing on a table that was real close to the front glass. So when I put the tripod on the side, put it up high, tried to get a good angle, it put the phone real close to a TV. So when I had to stand up on a chair, look over, and I was trying to get the field and make sure it's all focused and whatnot, I needed to zoom out a little bit more. So it's not great, but I like the match. Got some content I want to talk about, and good, bad, whatever. I'm putting out content. Hope you guys enjoy it. So, USAPL 8 ball. I won the flip. I get the break. Let's see how this goes. But here you go. You notice people are going to be walking in the screen a little bit here and there. I don't think it happens too much in the match, thankfully, but there's going to be some few people. There we go. Get out of the way. Move. All right, so 8 ball break. I started about 1 ball away from the side rail at the second dot on the head string. I shoot for the second ball. Put about 2 tips of left with just a hair, like a half tip of low. Try to hit as full into that second ball as possible. Try to get that left spin to throw the cue ball back into the middle of the table. I think I put a little bit more spin or got a hold of this one because it really jumped out there. So I made a stripe. Didn't really leave myself much because, look at it. The 14's a real thin cut to the side. What's it really going to leave me? Cut the 4 is a back cut. Really tricky. So we're going to try something a little bit different. A little bit of a trick shot right out of the gate. And that's right. We're jumping at the 2. Jumping at it. Try to take it off the 15. Carry him in the side. That was going to be a great shot. I was going to love it. Had it went. But it didn't. So now Owen comes to the table. It's open. So that's why the score still says 0-0, because even though a stripe dropped, nobody gets credit for it until you're solidified. So now he gets to choose what he likes. He's got a shot on the 15. Problem is it's going right at the 8, so I don't know if I'd do that. So he's going to go for the 4 in the side. A little thin, so he's got to double check his angle, which is smart. Just verify, make sure it's going to hit the 5, make sure it's not going to scratch or do something stupid. That's smart. So now we're going to slow roll that. It's nice and thick on the 5. No scratch. And here we go. So he is solids. I'm stripes. So I get credit for that break. That was my point anyway. So here's where I would shoot the 7. I would put a little bit on it. I'd probably hit it with top left to go 2 rails and try to smash into that group. Try to break some of it up a little bit. But you see, he kind of hesitated a little bit. I don't know if he was trying to get the right leave, if he was trying to leave it about right there to either have the 1 in the top left, or maybe he's trying to take the 6 down, give himself some options. But good news is he kind of had an accidental save. So I don't really have a lot here. So what do you do when you don't have a shot? Play safe. Unfortunately, even though I hit it pretty soft, I need to hit a hair thicker, I think, to really slow down the cue, because it came off and it just rolled too much. It opened me up, but it left him a 5 ball. Long, kind of on the rail, but a shot nonetheless. And he drills it. That is a failed save. I didn't really have a whole lot. So here's where now he's shooting with the 7. Same thing. I'd still hit that pretty hard. He didn't really. He hit it firm. But I would have hit that. I definitely would put a lot more on that one personally. Because now he's in a real bad spot. Only solid he can see is all black one. You don't want to fire at it. So he's going to try to go off the side rail and put a ton of spin to get towards that 3 ball. He just, I don't know if he just didn't put enough spin on it or if he just didn't stroke it because he kind of stabbed it a little bit. So he didn't get the action he was looking for. So, ball in hand for me. I've got 2 trouble balls. I've got the 9, I've got the 10. And the way I see this 9, I can get to the back side of it, roll forward, and at least leave myself the 10. So, now I just have to, nice and easy, be careful with this because you're not trying to move the 8 too much. Just pop it. I didn't look at the angle well enough. Hit it too thick. I need to be a little thinner, but I missed. So, Owen's back up. He's solids. I don't think the 2 really has a home, so he's going to pretty much got to shoot the 3. That 6 looks a little too thin to get in the side, so he's going to hit the 3. He's got to spin it. Ooh. You tried to make a mistake. And I do take charity. I do. I don't wish it upon you. But I'll take it if you're going to give it to me. So, bank the 10. Miss the bank 10 is what I meant to say. I didn't really have a whole lot of lead there. If I make it, I was coming down the table, I had options. Fortunately, I didn't. All right, so Owen's back up. Back to solids. Let's keep this straight. I think he can see the 1 here. Looks like he's shooting the 1. Nope, 6 ball. And fat pockets on the old dynamo tables. A lot of people call them valleys, but it's actually a dynamo. So he takes advantage of the wide pocket twice. Still a good shot. Still a good out. Now he just needs to hit this 3 ball a little firm. That way, at least it gets out into the table so he can see the 2. You don't want to hit this too light and let that 13 hook you. Because the other option, you either have to shoot the 2 on the side, but then cue ball's going away from the 3, or you got to try to take the 2 into what would be, let's see, get my hands right, Todd, this pocket right here. And the problem is then you got to worry about getting back for the 3. So he played it well though. Nice shot. That was a good shot, Owen. So now he just needs to roll this up. Roll this up, 8 ball. He's good to go. Until you do that. He kind of tapped it. I think he was trying to hold it behind the 15 when you should look at the angle. For lack of a better term, take your medicine, just roll it up, give himself an 8. He'd have been great. So he's checking how much gap is there. See, can he jump it? I would not try that jump. I wouldn't. I don't jump that close. I'm not a trick shot kind of guy. I need more breathing room. So let's be honest, his next best shot is a long kick. The only thing is, I think he should have looked at it from the other perspective, just give himself more of a visual to see, like, where is it and how do I need to do it. Walk around the table, take a lap, as I sometimes tell my people. Take a lap, see what you like, see what you want to do. So you'll notice right out of the get-go, ball in hand, I got 5 balls. I got 2 on this side of the table, 1 in the middle, 2 on the far end with the 8. And the way I'm playing it, essentially, is solve this side of the table, then you get the middle, and then finish up down there. I mean, make one ball, hook the second because you shot too fast. See how fast I shot that? Did I even aim? Just fired it. Stupid. I know better than that now. But that's why I'm doing this, guys. This is the whole reason I got into doing the YouTube and recording my matches. Owen. That was terrible. That's that tricky shot. That's that angle you need to learn. You need to know when you have an angle on that rail shot, where's the cue ball going? Because I see that so many times where people, whether you make the 8 or not, they caddy corner scratch. I see that too often. So, but again, I take charity. I didn't want it. I didn't wish it upon him, but I'll take it. So, like I was saying, the whole reason I got into YouTube is so that way I can review my matches. I can talk about it and see my mistakes, see what I'm doing right, see what I'm doing wrong, and see if it helps me in the long run. I'm trying to get better at this game. I'm a rough 540 Fargo, trying to get 600. When I get 600, I want to get 650. I want to keep improving. I'm never going to go pro, let's be honest. Too old, that ain't happening. But still got to improve. I can get better. Right? I think so. All right, so Owen had a good break. Didn't leave a nasty clump. They're all kind of generally together, but there's enough gap in all of them for something. Pause for the large mammal walking by. That's Eric. He's on my team. Super nice guy, but I'm pretty sure he's like 6'4". Like stands a full foot over me. Yeah, I'm 5'4". I'm not exactly a tall guy. All right, so he went with stripes. Fired at it. And this is what he left me. Not a bad leave. It's a little too stretched to try that 3-1 combo, so I think I would go after that 4. Try to draw back into the rail. Oh, not like that. You don't want to hit the 5 and make it worse. You even saw me kind of, I don't know, slap my leg or something because I knew immediately like it's not what I wanted. I was trying to split that gap and be able to stop it, but it didn't. So we're going to shoot the 6, let it roll up, delicately leave for the 2. Now from here, I've got a good angle. I can make that 2 with some top right, pretty good amount of right spin. And now I can spin over to break that 5 up. I had to throw my head up because I broke it up great, and then it tied right back up. Not only did it tie up, but to my own, and left me no shot at, well, anything. So I think I'm trying to carry him off the 7 into the side. Oh, never mind. It did have a home. It did have a bit of a gap. I just hit a little thick. But the good news is I left that 1 ball because I can make that from almost half the table in some capacity, but at least it's making his life a little troublesome for that 15. So that's a good note. Even though now I got to solve the problem of the 5. So Owen super slow rolls the 11. Leave himself an angle. I think just because of the angle, I would shoot that 10 ball with a little bit of low and try to stun over to hit that 15. Oh, man, I thought that was going to give you the old dramatic drop, but it did not. So I'm going to try to bank the 7. See how quick I shot that? Like, I still had some practice strokes, but this is one thing I'm learning. Practice strokes, then you got to pause. Pause for a split second before you fire. That little bit has given me some better accuracy over the last couple weeks. Keep bringing it up, but that was another tip from Adam. He watched one of my videos and was like, you know what you're doing? So I left him in kind of a tricky spot. He tried to masse around the 8 a little bit to just graze the 9. He just hit it way too hard. When you're trying to masse even a little bit, you got to give it, you got to slow it down a little bit to let that spin catch, let it hook. When you hit it hard, even if it's spinning, it's still sliding over the felt. So he missed, but he ended up knocking out my 7. Gave me a free bonus point. Say that again. I'm not pausing before. Gotta fix it. Gotta fix that. So I tried to take it up the rail, found the point, missed terribly. This is where we're at. So one reason I wanted to show this match is because you notice I'm not shooting great. I'm not just trying to show matches that highlight, oh, look how good Todd shot. I don't care about that. I'm not doing that for the glory. I'm doing it because I want to see what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. More so what I'm doing wrong right in this match because it's not pretty. Wait till we get to 10 ball. A little foreshadowing. We'll see. We'll see. So we're just kind of playing whack-a-ball over here. Neither one of us are really in stroke, we're going to say. We're just kind of pushing balls around. So at least with this, I left myself an angle on the 3. I'm a little close to the rail. I want a little more breathing room. See, I've got enough room to get that 1 ball. I just have to be picky on where I leave it. So we're putting a little bit of low. Spin around. Don't get behind the 8. Don't get the 1 ball that you don't want to get behind. And I found it. Thick. Like barely any gap. So I'm going to play a nice little safety here. I'm going to 2 rail. The 1 is off the rail. So I'm going to 2 rail and just try to tap the 1 just like so. Came out pretty decent. I was actually trying to get on the other side of it to where I can leave the 1 where 1 kind of bounces off and then hooks the cue ball. I didn't. But the good news is, if you look at it, I mean, less than a chalk's length, which means you can't just shoot straight at it or you can double hit. And he's real close to the pocket. He's close to my ball. Put him in a tight spot to try to run that 15, what is that, 7 diamonds up the rail. So it's got a look. Not a great one. I'll take it. I would take it if I was him. So I think he's calling a timeout here. And we have a waitress sighting. Megan, you're in the field of view, Megan. I swear that girl's always laughing. She's hilarious. So yeah, he's taking a timeout here, trying to figure out how do I hit this? What do I want to do? Because I mean, let's be honest. There's no safe here. I take that back. He might be able to graze the 15, but he's got to leave that perfectly behind the 14, and that's a touch shot. I don't know if I would I don't know if I'd try that. So he's gonna shoot. He's got a slight angle, so should be able to bring the cue ball out and then have at least a look at the 14. See how he does. Drills it. That was a good shot, Owen. Very good shot. Cannot be mad at that. So like I said, at least leaves himself a look at the 14. So now he just nice and easy, slow roll. Just don't want to get too straight. You don't want to get too straight because with the A ball clear at the other end of the table, you don't want to put too much power to try to get where you need it, especially with that 1 ball because he bumped the 1 where it is completely hooking him. So gotta look. You gotta look. Even though we can't see the pocket he's firing at, we know it's right there. So we called that lower corner. It's a good job taking his time too. Center pocket, no scratch. Good job, Owen. Great shot. Great shot. If he would have had a little less roll off that 14, so he had more angle on the 10, he could have had a little bit more of a natural, just smooth stroke, then come down for an even easier 8. Well, what's the matter when you can nail it, right? So he is up 21 to my 20. He's call it halfway home. I got a while. So I at least get the break. Gotta turn some on here. I need to get going. And scratched. Look at that 8 ball though. Whew, that would have been a terrible way to lose. Scratch and make the 8. That'd be a bad day right there. Free 14 points for him. No, thank you. But it was dry. So USAPL, even off the break, is ball in hand. He's got a little bit to work with. That 4-6-12 or little congested, if you will. As long as the 14 has a home, which I think once you make that 15 in that corner, the 14 opens up a little bit. So I might take stripes here. I would start with that 11 in the side, leave the angle with the cue ball going straight into that 6, nice and firm. Then that 6 is going to bounce the 12 out. And he said, "No, sir, do not want it. I like the littles." So stop shot, good stop shot. The only problem is, like I was just saying though, now he's got 2 balls that are kind of clumped. Did a good job trying to. He had a little bit of an angle. Tried to separate him. At least open up the 6, but now he congested the 4 on the 3. More problems to contend with. And with that 8 ball in that side, got to be extra cautious. So you can see the 6 ball. I don't think it goes all the way down. So if I remember correct, yeah, nice smooth soft stroke. That was a good shot. That was a real tough shot to get that. And he's got the 7 as an insurance ball to get out of jail. The only question is, what's his leave? Because, yeah, he way under hit that one. You really want to put a little bit more on and get the cue ball out into space. But again, I'm not really sure if there's room for anything. I don't know if he can see enough of the 3, or if he could, I should say. So instead, about the only thing you can see now is that 5, but let's be honest, it's not really going anywhere. 15's blocking the pocket. So he's playing whack-a-ball. Not really sure if he was trying some kind of safe there, what he was wanting to do. Bad news is he just left his balls kind of messed up there, but I still got to figure out the 12. 12's in a bad place because even if I move the 11, it doesn't really help because I can't bank the 12 with the 8 ball right there. So I got to come back to it. So stop shot on the 15. This is where I would slow roll that 10 because this is the angle that cue ball is going towards that pocket, that side pocket. So said stun it. Just being a little extra cautious with that 8 there. Unfortunately, got a little close to the 9. So we're going to take that 13. I don't know if the 11 might split that 3-4, but that's tricky because now I'm over a ball. So this is where okay. I'd say this is where I need to go walk over there and take a look at it, because if I can shoot that 11 to that corner, this is where I would put a little top on the 13, let it come off the rail, but I didn't feel comfortable with it. So did a little stun run through, as they call it, or almost like a stop shot, but it just last second just rolls just that little bit. So now I can take the 11. I'm pretty straight. Overrolled it though. I overrolled that. I wanted to stop a little bit more for a better shot on the 14. And this is where I probably should have just took my medicine. I think I needed to recalculate and go for the 9, but instead I didn't. Alright, guys. Sorry, I am back. Had a neighbor kid throw a ball over the fence, so my dog went nuts, started barking up a storm, so I had to pause. So we're back. Anyway, so that's where I left it. I ended up making my 14. Cue ball ended up running into his, opening him wide up. Left myself what could have been an even worse shot. At least I left myself a look at the 9, but still haven't figured out the 12. So I have to still get over on the other side of the table. And the only way I can see it is by putting some serious draw on this and try to rip to the side and pull all the way back. I did a great job, except center pocket scratch, right where you don't want to put it. And again, I'm only up 26-25. That's down when you're talking about a race. Left him ball in hand with only 4 balls. Not what you want to do. Not what you want to do. Like I said, I'm not shooting great this match. I fully understand it now. At the time, I was frustrated. I was definitely not in my groove the way I needed to be. And I let myself let it affect myself. I need to figure out how to calm down in my match. Don't we all? So he had a nice little stop shot on the 3. And he's pretty routine out here. Just you can either stop, even pull back just a little bit. There you go. Now easy 5 ball and 8's a gimme. Still gonna make him shoot this one. Gotta make sure he doesn't miscue. But here's the thing. I'm frustrated with myself. So I give it to him. In dramatic fashion, apparently. There it is. Okay. I don't know if you could see the expression on my face, but it was very long. Because I am down quite a bit. He's already on the hill. He only needs solid 8 balls. At least he needs a whole rack. So I've got a chance to make this somewhat respectable. But I got a mountain to climb, and I'm not breaking. So we'll see what happens. A little bit more of a head-on break. Looks like just a ball or 2 off center. He's definitely one of the hand on the rail. I'm not a fan of that break personally. I like to get my hand out on the felt. Get a little bit more of a controlled bridge. So stripes down, as is the all white ball. So I get ball in hand and my choice. Either way you look at it, I got to figure out the 2 or the 13, depending on which way I want to go. And it looks like the 2 goes all the way down. So I can just do a stop shot here, solve that problem. I didn't really look that one all the way through because even though I've got options here, that 7's a little tricky. So I'm going to take that 6 on the side, stun over. I think I wanted to stun a little bit more to give myself a better look at the 3. Maybe even use the 4 as a insurance shot. But I'm too thin on the 3. That's just not really going to benefit me. It's just going to take the cue ball into that 12-14. It's going to benefit him more than me. So I'm going to slow roll that 1 ball. Now I've got a little bit more to play with. Looks like the 3 goes, so I'm checking that angle if the 7 even has a look. Because that would be a good idea if I can leave myself a bit of an angle and then make that 3. Well, actually, I'm shooting the 5. I probably wish I could have. Oh, Todd. Oh my God, that was terrible. That was bad. I think what would have been better is go ahead and take that three ball. Let it try to, like I did earlier with a little bit of a stun run through. Follow that up and then leave yourself an angle. So when you make the seven in that opposite corner, roll through, bump the eight. Then I've got the five or the four as insurance balls to get out or finish the rack. Instead, I grossly undercut the five and left myself a whole lot of nothing. And Owen did not do himself any favors. Ended up scratching off of he was trying to back cut, I think that 15 or I'm sorry, 13, just didn't get the right angle. Kind of rushed it a little bit. Got to slow down. Got to take your time, double check your angles. So, ball in hand, at least now I've got everything open. So now it's pretty simple. I left myself a good angle on the five so I can cut it just a little bit to the left, top English, get the cue ball to come off the side rail, come back out into space, and be good. Boom. Just like that. Perfect. And unfortunately, I know what I do here. If you look at this, this is just a simple stop shot. Stop, make the eight, and for whatever reason, I rolled it. I don't have a clue what my thought process was there. That was dumb because now I left myself a really hard back cut. Thankfully made it, and the 15 gave me a little bit of a bumper ball to not long rail scratch or something stupid. But that was so dumb. Let's look at that. Let me just. Some people rush a little bit on their leaves, a la what I just did. Because right there, if you look at it, the three goes by clean. That is a simple what, three diamond stop shot. You stop that cue ball. Now you're out in space. You've got plenty of room. You have an easy shot on the eight. But instead, when you just shoot without thinking, you do that. Makes no sense. I don't know why I did it. Just because you can get out, or you do get out, doesn't mean it's the right way. So silly. So, trying to fight back a little bit while not shooting great, not being in the best mood. But the good news is he only got, what did he get, one ball there? That's not too shabby. I got the 14. I'm inching back to respectable status. Because I actually remember when I was thinking about this match, I remember getting absolutely destroyed. But then I started editing this and started putting the score sheet up, and I was like, I didn't think I even got near 40. So I guess it wasn't too bad. Better than I thought. Better than I thought. So second ball break again, like I do an eight ball. Looks like I might have caught the head ball just a hair. And much like a pinball machine, the table went tilt. Everything's kind of clumped over here on the side. Not a great look. Tell me that body English didn't just scream that. Just very quickly, like, what do you do with this? Well, apparently what you do is fire the first ball, try to get it down table. You couldn't see it because I'm standing in the way. Again, terrible camera angle. I end up hitting the right point of the side, firing the cue ball over. And there we go. So, still got to figure this out. I only made the six ball even harder. So here's where we get into some ticky-tack little safes. I tried to get it to roll up a little bit tighter to that 13. Didn't quite get there. So play it safe. Now he's got a couple options. He can see the 14. He can see the 13. The only real question is, how does he want to return the save? Because there's not a whole lot of options here that he can when you're playing a safe, the idea is to leave your opponent either hard, if not hooked, but then also open yourself up. The worst kind of safe you can do is just roll your ball into theirs in most situations, of course. But, just when all you're doing is making your own life hard and giving yourself more trouble, you're not really benefiting yourself and whatnot. So he didn't really have a lot of option here. So he played a little tacky safe. I just touched the 3, try to leave him behind that 14. Again, that's where this match gets a little fun. This is what I like. I like playing chess. If I'm not wide open and I can table run or break and run, I want to do this. I want to play a battle of the minds. So he left me a little bit of a window. So I've got the 3-4 combo, shooting a field goal, end up making it. Not terrible. The only real problem is I still got to figure out that 6 ball. Oh, so I hit it with some low left. And unfortunately, again, great camera angle. I can't see what I did. I think a fire back and must have hit the 8 ball, and which is why the 1 ball moved out, but don't really know how. But this is what we got. This is the result. Now I'm trying to figure out what are my options here. I can take the 1 either in the side or all the way down, but what's the goal? What do you do here? And with that, we're going to take a water break. So I'm going to shoot in the side, try to roll forward, leave myself. I wanted a little more, I think, but I can make the 5. The only problem is, still got that 6 ball, and I'm not in any kind of shape to fix it. So I'm at least looking around, trying to figure it out. Even looking at this after the fact, I don't know what I would do here, because with that 12, it's hard to play a safe of really any kind. So instead, the safe is to put it near there, so hopefully it stays open, and now I've got a breakout ball, which I think I did. I think I've got a little bit of a look here. The only problem is, Owen only needs 5 balls to win, so I gotta keep him from that. Basically, I just need him to miss and maybe scratch. Give me something to work with, but we'll see. Whew. Wide pockets are still wide. He is playing that to his advantage in this match. It's what, 3, I think? Gotta love the old bar box, right? Now you can just take this, take 12. He left himself a good angle on the 9, but also kind of an S2, the old 2-way. Left to where I don't think I've got much of a I don't think I can even see the 5, but at least not to make it. Then again, we'll see. Maybe I do. I had enough to see it, not enough to make it, or at least not enough to comfortably throw it without worrying about that 10 ball. So I at least did it as a stop shot, so that way I left his balls tricky and left him in a real bad spot where he can't really even try a little ticky tack save because it's so close you could very easily double hit and give me ball in hand, even though it's still not going to be very helpful. But so I think he's banking the 15. I think he might be cutting it. It's kind of weird at this angle the way the cue looks. Yeah, tried to bank it, got a little tight. This is where I need to play another safe. I need to just tap the left side of the 6 gently to where it kind of opens up, but not that much. I'm not trying to leave the combo. I needed that to be about a half ball less to kind of still come down, give him a little bit of trouble. But this is what I left him. I'm not a pro, guys. Not a pro. Just a measly 500 Fargo. Still learning. So he is going to take that combo. Can't blame him. I put a little top to kind of move the 12 as well. Or I'm sorry, the 10 ball. And it looks like the 9 goes on the side, so every ball's got a home. Now he just has to figure out the pattern, how he wants to do it. I'd be shooting that 15 with a little low left, mildly gently, to where you just nudge the 10 and open it up and leave yourself a look. Because if you just try to roll the 15, cue ball's going to get out too long, and then you're having to come back for the 10. Look at that. See the that table just motorboated, hung for a solid second, and then said, okay, fine, I'll drop. I just got lucky that the cue ball rolled with a vengeance back at that side pocket. So I got to start with the 6 because the 10 ball is sitting in the pocket, so I can't use that. So I just need to stun this over. If I remember correct, I do this wrong. Yep. Yeah. Good job, Todd. You're in a hurry, so you rushed it. I had ball in hand, and this is what you leave yourself? Terrible. I needed just to go ahead, either roll forward a little bit, so that way when you cut it, bump to 12. But instead, you do something really stupid. Give it the old middle finger, apparently. That was a terrible play. Terrible run. Nothing about that was good. Look at that. I could have brought it back, at least got it to Hill, but instead, played stupid. So at least Owen's doing it in a good pattern. I would have pulled it out just a little bit more to make a more comfortable shot on the 9. But regardless, he's got enough angle. He can just hit this with a little low so you don't roll into the 10. Just get it off the rail, come back out in the middle of the table. It's pretty routine. Top maybe just a slight twist of right when it hits the rail. Just like so. Good speed. That was very good speed. You see how it still came out in the middle table. He's got a good look, but he also has an angle, so he's not having to worry about shape. He can just put a little left, get it right there, and now you got a comfortable 8. Just easy rolling ball. So the way USAPL works, even if I get this rack, I would get the 14 points for the rack, but he made enough that he's, as you can see, already over, but really doesn't matter when he drills the 8 ball. And that's the match. So, and this is where I think I angrily go ahead and just fire at the 5 ball because why not? Pow! I shot it bad. So, what'd you guys think? USAPL, it's a great format. I love it. It usually brings out a little higher grade of players, but I was having an off night. I wasn't shooting my best. I tried to be respectable. 46 isn't terrible. I could have done a lot worse. So what'd you guys think? On the video overall, I feel like I'm getting a little bit better. I've got some graphics. I still want to tweak those. Still want to make a little bit more information, especially on APA. I want to be able to show innings and all kinds of different things, but we'll get there. And I'd like to be able to pause the video, pull up a whiteboard, actually draw lines so you can see the way I'm talking about the balls moving and doing what I want, as opposed to trying to just utter it real quick while I'm a fast shot, so I don't really explain it all that well. And we'll get there. Still got a lot of polishing to do on this final product, but YouTube's a lot. There's a lot that goes into this. So I'll get there. Patience. If you haven't already, come over to Facebook or Instagram. I've got Poolside Chat with Todd page. Hope you guys are following. And thank you for watching my YouTube videos. If you do like it, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, and more importantly, while yes, I'd love you to subscribe, do me a favor and share it. Get this out. I want to spread this along. I know I've got a lot of Kansas City people because that is my home, and thank you, all of you. I love you guys, but share it. Let's get some more people. Let's create more of a community. Let's get this out there. So, thank you very much as always, and I'll be back for part 2 where I got to play Owen in some 10 ball coming up. Thanks, guys.